A French Open star has declared my family is Nazi. Brazilian Thiago Seyboth Wild is embroiled in fresh controversy at the French Open after leaked WhatsApp messages claim he admitted to his ex-girlfriend, "My family is Nazi." The world number 172 caused a huge shock in Paris by beating world number 2 Daniil Medvedev in the first round. But the qualifier then refused to answer questions in his post-match press conference about charges he faces in Brazil for domestic abuse against his former partner Thayane Lima. He has not spoken publicly since, and the 23-year-old lost in the third round to Japan's Yoshihito Nishioka. Now Brazilian newspaper O Globo has published extraordinary WhatsApp exchanges between Lima and Seyboth Wild where he talks about his family history. In one, she asks, "Your mother doesn't like gays, blacks and Jews, does she?" It is alleged he replied, "On my mother's side, my family is Nazi." Literally, Seyboth Wild's family strongly repudiates the comments. In another message, he continues, "I preferred to tell you now because if you don't want to go there, I understand." Seyboth Wild is also alleged to have claimed that his mother's side of the family were Nazi dignitaries who later emigrated to Brazil after the Second World War. "My great-grandfather, my mother's father's father was Hitler's predecessor," he wrote. "He was the one who brought him from Austria, the country of birth of the dictator, and taught Hitler about life." He also sent pictures of his grandfather posing with Nazi leaders in the 1920s and 1930s. Seyboth Wild's entourage have denied to O Globo the existence of the messages. According to the newspaper, the exchanges are from 2019 and Seyboth Wild was charged with physical and mental abuse against Lima in June 2022. The case is ongoing. After his Medvedev win, the mustachioed Seyboth Wild replied to questions about the case by stating, "I don't think it's a subject we should talk about right here," said Seyboth Wild, 23. "You can write whatever you want." He later issued a statement to O Globo saying, "Faced with certain articles and messages published this week about me, I would like to point out that the proceedings in progress in Brazil, as well as a criminal procedure in which I appear as a victim, are subject to secrecy. This means that I cannot make statements, comments or expose conversations, which should also apply to the other party. But above all, I want to reiterate that there was no trial and therefore I cannot be considered guilty. I have not yet received the summons from the Rio de Janeiro Public Prosecutor's Office because I no longer have a fixed residence in Brazil. I have spent the last few months training in Argentina or competing in other countries. The same goes for the other party. Lima now lives in the USA. My lawyers have already communicated to the courts the address of my parents in Parana, Brazil. At the moment, I am totally focused on my career. I am back to my best level and I am confident that my innocence will be proven in due course."